Zoom since I have the ability to record. Okay, so what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go when you graduate?
I don't know, but I have plans in the making.
Okay. So are you leaning towards commercial or residential?
Probably will end up doing some commercial. I did apply to grad school, so that's one of my options.
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
And what?
Museum exhibition planning and design.
Where is that program?
University of Arts in Philadelphia.
Okay. I would ask this question, and I don't know this answer. What percentage of their students get jobs doing museum cleaning? Okay. And then they'll say, well, we have 93% of our students are working. And then say, what museums are they working in? I'm not saying that you can't do that job, but that job they're few and far between. They're really difficult to obtain.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And if you don't have an in, it's more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm all about grad school. I just like to know what area of grad school people are leaning towards so that I know whether or not I think there's a variety of areas that people can go into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to start with a project. Actually, you've got a lot of nice projects. So the Witt Hall is one of the nicer ones I've seen so far. Okay, so your healthcare, you've got some nice stuff going on, but your boards definitely need work.
Yeah.
In terms of grid work and layout. So the first thing I want you to have done is have the healthcare board done by Sunday at 3. Okay. That doesn't mean it'll be completely finalized, but give me the board layout. Anything you like. So like I said the other day in class, anything you want to fix inside the perspectives, we'll work on that later.
Okay.
I want the board layout to be stronger. And what happens is our board layouts are always the last piece because you're still working so hard on these, which is fine. But now we're going to make the board layout the more important piece. And obviously you don't need that many boards.
Yeah.
Okay, so that we're not going to worry about.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you actually do before, because this won't take very long, before class, by Sunday at 3, okay, do 2 projects. I'm not making, besides the healthcare, I'm not making anybody else, but what you're going to do is going to be so simple that it'll be the same amount of work as what everybody else is doing. All right, so I'm showing everybody this in PowerPoint because I can do PowerPoint fairly fast and then you can understand what I'm talking about. All right, we're going to do this board. 22, but I am nowhere expecting you to do this in PowerPoint. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just my mode of being able to show you. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this project that you did by hand and you're going to make a digital board out of it. And it's going to be a 1-board project. So for me, now, this perspective has dark Nigerian people in it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get rid of those people. So what you can easily do is in Photoshop, you can easily get rid of those people. Okay, so you can, and I'm showing you that you can easily get rid of them because I can just about get rid of them using PowerPoint.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense? So you'll just you'll take the dropper or whatever it is and you'll fill in. And this doesn't have to be great because then you can take the airbrush and airbrush it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then what you will do is you're going to go get some better people and put them in there.
Do you want white silver or black silver?
I like gray.
Okay.
I even like transparent, but I like a gray. Okay. All right. So you know what you're going to do with that. And then I love that you've included your model picture. So I'm going to try to figure out how we're going to do this.
I put that together for my application for grad school. Just that.
Oh,
so
that was good. The other thing is if you get accepted to grad school, you got to make them give you money, make them pay for your school.
Yeah, no, I've already received an email about it.
Yeah, because they will give you money. So. And, you know, however you want to work is up to you. I don't care about that. Let's see. But really think about visually what could be dynamic.
I mean, I can go into Photoshop and take out the backgrounds on the model because I took them all white.
Okay.
And everything's in the data closet.
Okay. And then what I want you to do is really work on sort of that layout.
Okay.
You know, make this layout. Of course, And so I would play with these elements and maybe play with 2 different layouts. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then floor plans. And it might even be that, you know, you might want to crop them separately. I'm just trying to do, and you might just take out the willow. You might even take out your hand notes so you can crop them in closer, and then you can always type other stuff back in just like you did for your, and there's not really much going on right there, so you could even overlap, but I'm thinking with the way this is kind of developing, I may not like the overlap, but maybe the overlap. You may not gain. If these are about the same size, then we need to kind of fix it. You know what I'm saying? Because you need this maybe to be a little bit bigger. You can also always crop. Just because you have the perspective doesn't mean that you can't. That doesn't really tell you that much more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you can crop that to get this bigger. And then you're going to need to have a concept statement anyway or something. And then maybe a logo. You know, but see how you can create a really nice board, and then you may even have some text coming through here.
Should I put those samples back on? effective.
Oh yeah, you can put the samples back on too. You know, and then you got a label.
And how big is that board?
This is a 22 by 34. And just remember, your font size is always bigger than you realize because it's the proportions to the board. You know, but yeah, you can figure out how to get the paint samples. May even go right underneath here, and then a smaller concept statement. And this doesn't have to be your layout. Okay, so that's your first one you're going to do, and then your second one, because this won't take very long, and maybe give me 2 layouts.
Okay.
Then you're going to do the exact same thing with this project. Now you don't have as much, but this is a really nice hand rendering, and so this could become a square board project even. And yeah, maybe get new pictures. This could be something you could easily enter in. This would be good for the Sherwin-Williams competition.
Really?
Yeah, because of this, so much of the red, you know, being their paint color. And then you could even, you know, pick out a red, a brown, and, you know, maybe another color. And you can, I think you can enter more than one in Sherwin-Williams. If you can't, then I wouldn't pick this one. But if you can, you never know. If everybody like does a really nice, let's just say, I don't know, corporate office, then they're only going to pick one corporate office to put in there. Does that make sense? And then each time you do a board, think about what would make it more unique. Like, what do you do on this board that's different than your last board? That makes sense? But this one could be smaller. You could even make this a square board. It could be 22 by 22. But that's what I want you to do by Monday. I mean, by Sunday at 3. I keep saying Monday, but I know you'll have a project due on Monday. And, you know, come up with a nicer graphic of the Red Rock, you know, spa, so that it's not around a, you know, that it's not around a box. You know, obviously that's not a very good font. Have you looked at other grad schools too?
I did. It's sort of not exactly my first choice of things to do. It's a family choice, so I guess it's just an option.
A family choice because your parents want you to go to grad school?
Yes.
And if you go to grad school, what would you ultimately end up doing?
I chose Grub because it's an MFA, so I eventually could teach.
Gotcha.
I don't feel that I'm very fast when I'm working on computers. Doesn't mean I can't do it, but I'd rather be doing something that's more hands-on.
Right.
That I feel like I've accomplished more. Which is why, like, when it comes to the initial job search, other than grad school, I don't exactly know what I want to do. When I did my internship, I was mainly on the computer there doing research, and you can look through my papers and everything from them. They'll say I did a good job, but sometimes I felt like I really was working very slow.
Gotcha.
But I mean, they were below a few people anyway, so I really was helping them, just even a little bit much. But
right.
So.
Well, I think you get faster with time on some of that too, but I think part of the piece with you is that your attention to detail. So there may be students who are doing maybe what appears like to be more, but they're not really reading what they're doing anymore. They're not, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if it was me and my daughter was going to go to grad school, I would not have them go get a master's in architecture. I wouldn't. I would prefer, if they were in design, I would prefer they go get, and NMFA is a smart choice, okay? I will tell you that. I would have them get maybe something with industrial design. I wouldn't have them do interiors because it's kind of like you really have reached the gamut.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still more you can learn in terms of research of that, but I wouldn't have them do that. For me, right now, part of the things I grapple with, and I just don't have time to do it, is I'd love to start taking some computer science classes because I believe artificial intelligence, coding, virtual reality, and drones is where we're going. And I totally see how design can fit into all of that. But me not having, like I hate that I don't even have Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. I mean, I used to teach the 3D Vista, the 3D CAD, the Revit, all that. I knew that by the back of my hand. I could do it in my sleep. I'm a dinosaur. I'm such a dinosaur now. I don't, so I'm showing you on Photoshop. I mean, PowerPoint, because I can do PowerPoint, So I would really encourage you, if your parents really want you to go to grad school and they're going to pay for it. Okay. The richest I ever was in my life, even I think today, well, definitely today, was when I was in grad school. I had the university paying my tuition and giving me a stipend because I was teaching. I worked waitressing, making good money, and my parents, I worked out a pretty sweet deal because they wanted me to go to grad school, that they would pay for grad school, and I got to keep my scholarship money. So that really helped me accomplish a lot. So, I would just think about it from a terms of where do you think the world is going? Mm-hmm. And even if you did an exhibition design, they better be doing some things with virtual reality, a lot of computers, innovative things within museum and exhibit design. I don't know it. And I don't know their program, so I don't know if it's good or not good. But what I do know is I have students sometimes who tell me they want to go into exhibit design. They want to do retail hospitality, or they want to do, I had the other one in my head. Oh, historic preservation. Those jobs are very hard to get. So just in figuring out how to make yourself different. It's just like I have a friend of mine, her son's going to law school. And I said, have him take our design thinking. And she said, why? And I said, it's going to make him separate himself from all the other kids that are in law school. He's going to think differently about how he approaches his papers, his work, and it will help him stand out. Mm-hmm. And so he's taking it this semester. So I would just think very strategically about what that will leverage for your abilities. Okay. The other thing is I would either figure, for me, if I got to go back to grad school, I'd figure out how to get to Stanford to be in their D school. I would figure out how to be at Cornell. They're doing some amazing things in terms of design that I wouldn't still do interiors because you need to move yourself beyond that, but they've got great, amazing stuff going on. Those would be my two. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I think we're done. We're over our limit, and now we're on to my next person. So, all right. Kicking you out. Get those done Sunday by 3.
Okay.
Okay.
And do you have a drop box up?
I will have it up.
Okay.
Thank you. Though I need to make a note of that somewhere. Because I'm going so fast and furious, I'll forget.
Yeah, speed dating, huh?
Yeah, speed dating, baby.
All right,
All right, thanks.